Hello everyone, welcome to Life Coach Lessons. Today I will be giving you tips on living successful and purposeful lives in only 3 to 5 minutes. I'm Scott Miller, a certified retirement life coach from Hixon Zuercher Capital Management. Well, welcome to episode number 6 of Life Coach Lessons. Over the next 7 months, we're going to be looking at some of the most common retirement questions. A lot of you have a lot of questions about the idea of retirement and about the second half of your life. And so those 7 topics are, for the month of July, we're going to look at the idea of work. We have a lot of different questions about work. And then we're going to be looking at rest and leisure, which are those 2 topics are related to each other. And then we'll be looking at things like spouse and partner differences. We'll be looking at social connections. And then questions related to health concerns that you might have. And then we'll end with the idea of mental health and how do we deal with stress and what questions do you have about that. So that's what we're going to do over the next 7 months. For the month of July here, we're looking at questions related to the topic of work. And today we're going to specifically look at the question of what is work? So I just want to kind of define it for you. I'm going to be really encouraging you to work. I think we're created for work. One of the things that I used to see all the time with my patients is they would come in and they'd say, hey, in 6 months I'm going to retire and then I'm never going to work again. Well, I would see them a year later or so and things really were not going very well for them because that idea or that mentality of just that I'm not going to work anymore just doesn't work out very well because we are creatures that were designed to work. And so there needs to be some type of work in your second half of your life. So let's define what work is. One of the definitions that I came across is it's a task that a person has to do. And that's probably related to that first career that you have, that first maybe career that you've done for 30 or 40 years. It was just something that you had to do. You needed to provide an income for your family. You needed to take care of your family. So it's something you kind of had to do. But I really don't like that definition, to be quite honest with you. I really like this second definition. And the second definition is it's an activity that involves both mental and physical effort to achieve a result. I like that idea. I think it's really important in our second half that we involve both physical and mental effort. We know that takes care of a lot of health concerns and mental concerns that we have. So it's really important that you stay engaged both physically and mentally. But this last definition I like even better. And this comes from Mitch Anthony. He's a financial advisor that talks a lot about retirement. And his definition of work is that it's an engagement that brings value to others and meaning to you. I really like that idea, value to others and meaning to you. And so then he goes on to talk about 3 different categories of workers also in the second half. And I get a kick out of this. He calls one of those categories die with your boots on. So you're a kind of person that dies with your boots on. This is like my father-in-law, okay? He's 82 years old and he's still building homes. He's in construction. He's done this for probably 50 or 60 or 70 years. So that's a die with your boots on kind of person. They're going to do the same thing. They're never going to change, but it involves work. In fact, all 3 of these categories do involve work. The second category is cyclers. This is people who cycle in and out of jobs. They maybe do something for 20 or 30 years and then they quit for a while, realize that they need to work, and then they cycle back into another job and they do that for several years and then they quit that job and then they cycle back in, but they're constantly cycling back and forth. But again, it still involves work. The third category are piddlers. This is probably what I am. Piddlers are people who have a career that they do for 30 or 40 years and then they retire from that career and then they just kind of piddle back and forth between things. They're still working at things, they're doing projects, but they just kind of piddle around at a lot of different things. I'm kind of in that category. But again, it involves work. So I hope this was helpful for you. It kind of defines what work is. We're going to, over the next few weeks, look at a lot of other questions that deal with the idea of work. So again, remember, it's an engagement that brings value to others and meaning to you. Now, if you have questions about this, or would like to just comment or just connect with me, I'd love to hear from you. You can go to smiller@hzcapital.com, and just remember to live a more purposeful and meaningful life today.